What's up, Falcons? It's Maya Snyder.
And Taylor Payton. Welcome back to Digital Learning. We hope you had a fabulous break.
In today's episode, we're bringing you the latest news on students' screen time during digital learning days and the most recent school announcements.
Get ready, Falcons. Today's show starts right now. Remember, Falcons, the first 2 weeks of class are completely online. With this being said, remember to join your teams promptly and be prepared for class each day. Remember, juniors, on January 26th, there is a PSAT exam. You have until Friday to sign up. Information can be found on the Class of 2022 homepage. Attention all sophomores, juniors, and seniors. California Scholarship Federation forms are due to your class counselor by Tuesday, January 19th at 3 p.m. No late forms will be accepted. Since the beginning of online school, almost every teen has seen an increase in their daily screen time. KBFT's Olivia Cepeda brings us an insightful news package on the impact screen time and social media have had on two of our own CB students. Let's take a look.
As high school students, we grew up in a generation surrounded by technology and social media. I talked to CB students Kenna Lafitte and Chloe Williams about how social media has affected themselves and teens everywhere. I asked Kenna and Chloe to tell me how long they think they spend on social media to get an idea on how much teens use these apps daily.
I'm probably on social media around 3 to 4 hours a day. Probably a lot more than I'd like to be.
I spend time on social media every day, usually when I have a break from school. So I spend about 3 hours on average every day.
Chloe and Kenna then gave me what the good and bad things are about social media and some effects it has on teens.
I think some of the good things about social media are that you can connect with friends and family that you might not have seen or talked to for a while.
Some of the good things about social media definitely are it's like a well-connected community, so you can interact with your friends, and I feel like it's been nice for me because I've gotten to talk to my friends from elementary school and keep in touch with family members that might live far away. So it's really nice for that. It's also a good platform to kind of educate yourself about what's going on in the world. I think it's kind of convenient to just kind of go on Instagram and my Discover page is all this stuff that's going on in the world.
Some of the bad things are it could be very negative, try to force opinions on you, and it can also be draining to feel like you always have to keep up with social media.
There's a lot of bad things, because it's such a big community, word can spread fast, so things like rumors and gossip can kind of get around. There's also you kind of also have to be safe when you're on social media because there's sketchy people out there.
Some effects of social media on teens are they can become too addicted to it and not make enough time for important things like school, sports, and family. And it can also make teens feel very left out and isolated.
I think social media is pretty good for mental health for the most part. I feel like it's a good way to kind of boost your mood. It kind of provides a nice distraction when everything's kind of chaotic. If you get in too deep, then it could make you feel insecure or even make you more upset. So you have to kind of be careful and make sure you don't get too deep into that hole.
I then asked them if they ever wished they could have grown up in a world without social media.
Sometimes I do wish I grew up in a world without social media because the world would be so much more focused on face-to-face relationships. But at the same time, it's been great to be able to see so much more of the world through social media.
I feel like I was pretty lucky because I didn't really get social media until I was in 5th grade, so I kind of grew up without it. But I think if I could go without it, I think I would, just because there's so much out there that you don't need social media for, and it's kind of just better to experience it on your own.
Although social media is our generation's form of entertainment, the goal is to not get too caught up in it and to not let it control our lives. This has been Olivia Cepeda reporting for the Talon Morning News.
Falcons, Don't forget that if you're parking on campus, you must fill out a parking permit application and turn it into Ms. Pearson in the front office. Display your permit in your car to park on campus. Please update your iPad along with all school apps such as Teams, Schoology, and PowerSchool to ensure a smooth running class while at home. Seniors, your due date for your final porches have been extended to January 29th. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a part of KBFT? Our very own Julia Brousseau gave you guys the inside scoop and the behind the scenes of what we do in room 608. Now let's take a look.
Some may think that here in the KBFT studio, all we do is sit in front of a camera and tell the CB community important news. But Christian Brothers' award-winning broadcast journalism program is much more. I asked KBFT members what their favorite and hardest parts of KBFT are and more.
Favorite show job, I think, is either anchoring or working the camera. Anchoring is a lot less scary than I thought it was going to be. And it's kind of fun with like all the lights and the cameras. It makes it feel so like professional. I mean, it is pretty professional, but it's fun being behind the camera too. And because you have headsets on and like you get to talk to Mr. Hogan in the other room. And it's just cool being able to work like different devices.
So I think the hardest part about KBFT is making packages in a quick manner. I know since we air 2 times a week and we try to go for 2 to 3 packages per show, everyone has to produce packages and just trying to find new topics, relevant topics, interesting topics to write a story about and air and edit that. It's a long process and takes time, so that's definitely hard. And I also think some of the show jobs can be hard to do. I know graphics can be very tricky and interesting to get, and very hard to get right on the right moment. And then also, I mean, anchor is really fun also, but that can be a hard job too, just because you're on the spot and you're live, and it's just, you have to try to, if you make a mistake, move on. And so it's just like you're on the spot, so that kind of makes that part of KBFT a little more difficult as well. But I think making packages in a timely manner is one of the harder parts of KBFT.
I also asked them what advice they would give to anyone wanting to join KBFT.
The advice I would give someone joining KBFT is to try Video 1 out, because I know a lot of people, they take Video 1 because they're like, ooh, KBFT. But definitely you have to take it and see if you like it, because I know it's like hit or miss for some people. They have this like vision going into it, and I thought Video 1 was super fun, but there are other people who are like, oh, this is not for me. So definitely take Video 1 and see how it goes. Don't force yourself to take KBFT, but also be creative in what you're doing, like, and be open-minded to learn new ways to like edit and Photoshop, all kinds of stuff.
This has been Julia Rousseau reporting live for the Talon Morning News.
Wow, that episode flew by.
Right? I'm so happy to be back.
Me too. It's time to get back to class now. So the set order for today, and every broadcast now, is BFG.
Have a spectacular day and a productive second semester, Falcons.